Have you been struggling with your focus levels lately? Like you feel like you're trying to focus, but somehow it's just not there. You find yourself staring into your book 5 minutes into your study, and suddenly you're on Facebook or Instagram or watching reels on YouTube or any social media platform. You go online to search for one thing, you end up searching 10 different things which are all irrelevant to your work, and you find yourself procrastinating. In other words, your focus is in a shattered mode. If you're someone who's struggling with this problem, like you go to sleep and you're focusing more on your phone instead of sleeping and stuff like that, you need to do a dopamine detox. And that's exactly what I'll be discussing in this video. Let's go. Hello everyone and welcome back to Guilt Free Mind. I am Dr. Shruti Bhattacharya, author and owner of guiltfreemind.com. The link to the blog will be right there in the description section. So if you want to lead a more fulfilling, happy, positive life with a good mindset that helps you achieve your goals, then go ahead and subscribe to Guilt Free Mind blog. The subscription option will be there in the sidebar. It will allow me to notify you whenever a new blog post releases from the blog. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome to the old ones as well. It's so amazing to see you all here for another video. In this one, we'll be focusing on dopamine detox, how to primarily do it. Now, if you want to understand why you need dopamine detox, here's the reason. When we do something regularly, like watch reels on social media or watch a video, like there was a time when we used to have very limited access to television, maybe before your time, but there was a time like that. So when people would watch TV, they would feel really happy, and there would be an insurgence of dopamine in their head. There would be a lot of production of dopamine. Now what has happened is that the TV, the videos, everything that was visual media has come onto our phones. Either it's visual media or it's games or whatever you like. It's right there at the tip of your fingers. So it's become very easy to distract ourselves. It's become very easy to get the dopamine that we were originally getting by watching TV or listening to music or listening to songs. YouTube is basically everywhere. So you just pick your phone and you switch on YouTube and there's instant dopamine. Now what happens is when you keep accessing dopamine regularly, keep causing the production of dopamine in your brain like this regularly, brain gets used to the things that you're doing and it stops releasing the dopamine. Stops as in, suppose you're not a huge fan of spicy food, but you're eating it every day, eventually in 15 days, you don't mind the spice so much. And here is Zeus showing you why you should do dopamine detox, because when you're doing dopamine detox, you have more time to play with him and you won't be on your phone, isn't it? So the reason you need to do dopamine detox is to reduce that level of satisfaction that you were getting after watching hours of content. When you do a dopamine detox, your focus comes back and even your regular studying or working starts to release dopamine in your brain. Now, to achieve the level of dopamine that you would normally get after watching 2 hours of content on social media, you will get after supposedly 6 hours of studying. But you won't even get there because you don't have that focus. So dopamine detox is essential to bring back that focus and for you to have more time to spend with your kids, like Zeus. Like I'll spend more time with Zeus instead of being on my phone watching YouTube videos. So, point number 1, as I said, it was understanding dopamine. What is dopamine? So dopamine is a neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and reward system. It's released by your brain when you feel happy, when you feel content, when you feel successful. So in work, for dopamine to be released, you have to complete a project or you have to do something that's difficult. And naturally, our brain try to digress from things that are difficult and go on to things that are easier for us. So your brain tells you, go watch YouTube, you'll feel happy. But that's not the way the world works. You cannot earn a living by watching YouTube. You cannot get good grades by watching YouTube. So in order to feel satisfied in your daily functioning, in your daily tasks, and in your daily everyday work, you have to do a dopamine detox. So when you switch from digital devices, you desensitize your brain towards those stimuluses. Now your brain feels happy if you have done 1 hour of studying, which Before it was feeling happy after two hours of video watching, or maybe after about 8 hours of studying. So to get that focus back, to bring balance back in your life, to feel happy about your everyday accomplishments, dopamine detox is crucial. So if you haven't started on it yet, I suggest you start now. I am not responsible for what's going on in my background. I was getting ready to shoot the video. It was a work from home day today for me, and Zeus thought that I was leaving. So he is very happy that mom is home, and he might make a few more appearances. Depends on him, not on me. Point number 2, set very clear goals. Do not decide that I will be finishing one complete project in a day. It's not possible, it's very impractical, and you will feel burnt out. So, divide the project in smaller chunks, spread it through the days. If you have like a deadline coming up for something you have to finish today, but you don't want to do it in one setting, divide it into smaller chunks, space it out throughout the day so that you can keep revisiting it and give your mind some breaks as well, to avoid burning out. So when you have clear goals, it helps you reduce screen time because you know exactly what you have to do, so you don't have that decision making fatigue that, okay, I finished this, now what should I do? Okay, maybe I'll hang out on Facebook for a bit. So that maybe I'll hang out on Facebook for a bit goes away, because you already know what's the next thing you're supposed to do. Okay, this one's done, now next is this one, let's get this done. One other way to actually set clear goals would be if you put it in your calendar and allot a time for it. So, okay, right now the time is for this thing, I will do this thing right now, and okay, now this time is over, now is the time for this thing, so I will do this thing right now. So set your timetable beforehand and follow it to the T. Do not sacrifice on it. Make sure you wake up on time and make sure you get to bed on time so that you can follow your timetable on time. Alright, point number 3, identify your dopamine triggers. Now, what are your triggers? What makes you feel really happy without actually doing anything? It could be social media, it could be playing video games, it could also be eating sugary foods. Can you imagine that? So you need to identify your triggers. Take a week. If you're planning to be very serious about this and seriously do a detox, then take a week and mark down your day-to-day activities. So have either you can do this on your calendar or you can do this on a piece of paper, whichever way is comfortable to you. So write down that from so and so time I was spending my time doing this. Like my morning routine got over by what I started at 8 a.m. Morning routine got over by like 9 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. So then I worked on this project for so and so amount of time. Then I went on Facebook for like 10 minutes. Then I did this. Then I went on Facebook, or then I went on Instagram, or then I went on YouTube, or I just decided to do some painting, or I decided to chill out with my friends. Whatever it is, note down your timings, and then at the end of the week, just check the highlighted sections, which were the Facebook parts, which were the Instagram Reels parts, what were the times when you were spending your, time mindlessly on social media or doing something that is unproductive towards your daily accomplishments. Once you know those, then you can clearly see the triggers. Those are the triggers that you have to stay away from now on. So being on Facebook is a big no-no. Being on Instagram becomes a big no-no. Being on YouTube, Twitter becomes a big no-no. So you have to identify your trigger, and then you have to work on stopping them. So point number 4 is digital detox. How to stop your trigger. So like when you do a bodily detox, you don't really eat rich food, right? Even though you love it. So same way, when you're doing digital detox, you are supposed to stay away from social media whether you like it or not. It is hard. It's going to be hard, but well, you want to reduce your brain's that hypersensitivity towards dopamine. You want to make your brain calm. You want to bring down your brain's that hyperactiveness which comes associated with Facebook and other stuff. And you want to focus more on the simple things of daily life and focus more on your career and academics. So, to properly conduct digital detox, the first thing you need to do is go and turn off your notifications. Now, if you have an iPhone, you can set up a focus mode where all the notifications automatically get turned on and you're not notified about anything. Or you can manually go and permanently turn off every notification. If you're an Android user, then also you have that option. You can just go into setting and turn off notification for each of the apps that you don't want to interfere in your daily life. Now, maybe you keep your emails on because you might get an important email from your teacher or from your colleague or whatever. You keep emails on. You switch off Facebook unless you are a content creator or a social media person who has work on Facebook. So you switch off Facebook, you switch off Instagram, you switch off YouTube, you switch off Threads, you switch off Twitter, you switch off every accessory thing that can, suddenly chime up and then completely distract you. So once you have done these things, after this, you should dedicate some certain areas in your house as tech-free zones. Like, suppose if I'm doing digital detox, the first thing I would do is no phone on the table. Now, this is where I work. So if I'm here, that means I've come to work. And if I'm working, then obviously there is no point of having my phone with me. So I would keep my phone away from the table, not in the drawer of this table. I would keep it in the drawer of some other table in some other part of the house. So that, whenever I have to get up, I'm like, let me just finish this and then I'll go check the phone. Or let me just finish that and then I'll go check the phone. So that I am making this zone a phone, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Threads free zone. Like that. Point number 5, establish a routine. As I said, you need to have a routine to reduce the decision fatigue and decide what work you have to do when. You can, if it seems like too much work to mark on your calendar and all, you can just make a to-do list in your phone or anywhere. What tasks are there for tomorrow? Okay, do this. That's it. And when you sit down to work, you are not getting up from your table until all of those tasks are done, or unless it's lunchtime or you have to go to the washroom. Now, you will have to exercise a bit of discipline and a bit of forcefulness with yourself, but trust me, in the end, it's very, very beneficial for you itself. So, establish your daily routine, decide the night before what you're going to work, incorporate exercise. That is a crucial point. Always have a chunk that is for exercise. You can either do weight training, you can do cardio, you can do cycling, walking, whatever works for you. But have a chunk of time which is dedicated to exercise. So, exercise, then being away from social media and not having to decide which work to do after which one can be of immense help when you're establishing your routine. Point number 6. Should you go for the cold turkey method or should you go for gradual reduction method? Cold turkey is, from this point on, no Facebook, no Instagram, no Threads, nothing for so many days. Like, you won't go on the app even once throughout the day. Now, those who are addicted to social media or addicted to being on their phone all of the time, the cold turkey method can actually cause symptoms of withdrawal. They may have headaches because they are constantly resisting the urge to be on social media to check out what their friends are doing and what the world is up to, and now they're not getting to do that. So, dopamine addiction causes it's kind of like if you're addicted to other substances. It shows similar symptoms in your body because at the end, the purpose of the mind is to feel good. And it's not getting to feel good here. So it tries to get back to it. So it will trick you. It will say, your brain will say, oh, I've finished all my work. Now I can definitely go on social media. Oh, maybe just for 5 minutes. And if you have an addiction problem, then cold turkey is not the method for you. You should go for gradual reduction. Track your time. If yesterday I was on social media for 3 hours, today I will not extend 2 hours. Now, how I divide those 2 hours in the whole day is up to me. You can put in slots in between your work schedule. Okay, now social media time. Those are the slots when you will go to social media. You will not touch social media at other times of the day. You have to decide that and you have to stick to it. So if you are in an addicted state, try to taper down the time slowly. If you are someone who does not spend that much time on social media and you can do the cold turkey method without issues, then I would suggest go for the cold turkey method. Just directly cut it out for like the next 7 days, no social media. For a month, for 2 months, how much ever long you want social media, either way does not contribute to our lives unless you are a person who needs social media for their work. Point number 7, focus on developing new hobbies. You can learn to ride a bike or learn driving your car. If you don't know, go on hiking, skiing, cycling, walking, painting, learning new musical instruments. There's just no limit. Learning cooking, baking, arts, any form of art, pottery, sculpting, anything. Focus on developing a new hobby instead of, so that time that you were spending on social media, you can spend that learning something new. And when you learn something new, it gives your brain dopamine. It causes production of dopamine in your brain and it makes you feel good that, okay, I am being successful at something and this is good and I feel glad about it. So focus on developing new hobbies so that these can become alternatives to the time that you would spend on social media normally. Point number 8, mindful consumption. Once you have had a stretch of time, if this is specifically important if you're going cold turkey. So if you decided to go to cold turkey method and you supposedly had a month of no social media at all. Now it's time to get back. So then make sure that you are mindfully consuming social media. Not just randomly saying things. Watch things that you like, that appeal to you, that will impart you some wisdom or make you learn something new, like provide you with some knowledge. Go to social media, but focus on the knowledge side of it rather than the fun, entertaining, and the mindless side of social media. Social media can be very helpful for you as well. So focus on being mindful, being in the present. Even if you're eating something, make sure that you are being mindful as you, okay, how does the food taste? Okay, I'm chewing it now. Like I'm masticating or chewing the food. Now I'm swallowing it. This food will provide my body with so much energy and nutrition. And this food is going to make my day amazing. Like, just be grateful and thankful and be in the moment. Point number 9, work on your social connections. I know thanks to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and all, we are in touch with like each other constantly. But focus on having some face-to-face time, one-on-one time, away from your Zoom calls and Skype meetings and WhatsApp, and have a real conversation like at a cafe, meet up with your friends, have a social life. Develop those, bonds with people who are close to you instead of just focusing on social media, because that's not going to help you in the long run. Your friendships, your relationships, they will. So instead of spending time on social media, do these things. Point number 10, reflect and adjust. Now, these points that I told you, they are not a hard and fast rule. It's not like you have to follow them only, otherwise you're screwed. There's nothing like that. So every person is different at the base level. What works for me may not work for you. So follow these for a week. See what's working for you, what's not working for you. The parts that are working, keep them. The parts that are not working, maybe they need a little bit of adjustment. If you've got any queries about them, you can ask me here on my live stream, or you can just leave a comment, or you can reach out to me on social media. I try to be available. So you have to reflect and then you have to adjust. And as you keep going, eventually you will change, your motives will change, your timings will change. You keep reflecting and you keep adjusting. It's just the cycle of life. You have to figure out what you were doing wrong, fix it up, move forward. Again, if you stumble somewhere, figure out what you're doing wrong, adjust, and move forward. Well, with that, here are your 10 points to conduct a successful dopamine detox. I hope you have an amazing time with detoxing and find some truly, truly, truly amazing ways to spend your time instead of being on social media. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you, and I wish you all the success in your dopamine detox journey. If you would like to lead a more mindful life, please subscribe to the blog and subscribe to the channel as well. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe button, ring that notification bell, set it to all so that YouTube never misses out on notifying you about any of the new video releases. And I will see you in my next video. Till then, bye bye.